Every time a new development breaks ground here in Las Vegas, it's not only concrete and steel. It's people finding homes, jobs, and opportunities to build a better life here. Vegas isn't just growing, it's evolving for people to call it home. So today I'm going to show you exactly where that future is being built and why these 5 areas are shaping a new chapter of Las Vegas. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Giacomo Zarconi, and this is the Zarconi Report. Each Friday, I break down the new developments shaping Las Vegas, so you can see firsthand where opportunities lie. So don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any upcoming videos on the Zarconi Report. So let's take a look at today's journey. We will explore 5 major growth areas. Number 1 is the border between Las Vegas and Pahrump. What's going on up there with the space station is just amazing. The Durango Corridor expansion, with the construction of the Uncommons, has redeveloped the entire area in the southwest. Sky Canyon and the Centennial area extending all the way to the military base with its tech hubs and all new residential area going on up there. Tule Springs and the whole North Las Vegas redevelopment is far beyond what it used to be 10 years ago. And Sloan, with its new industrial complexes being built, which is going to bring a new shape to South Las Vegas. This is the kind of intel that helps you get ahead instead of just getting caught up. Everyone thinks that the future Las Vegas is on the Strip. But what if I told you that the future Las Vegas is 1 hour west in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, where rockets, race cars, and winery blend together, rewriting the next chapter Las Vegas Valley. On that note, let's start with the corridor Las Vegas-Pahrump, a stretch that most people used to call the middle of nowhere. But right now, it's becoming the middle of everything. Here's why. The Las Vegas Spaceport project has officially broken ground. Just off of State Route 160, about 31 miles from the Las Vegas Strip, developers are building a 240-acre commercial spaceport with a 5,001-feet runway designed for space planes, private jets, and aerospace tech operations. Phase 1 construction is supposed to roll through 2025. And when it's done, it won't be just a runway. It'll be a magnet for aerospace engineers, high net worth investors, and cutting-edge startups looking for a foothold in the desert. Now, I've been watching this area closely, so let's tie in what's already there. Spring Mountain Motor Resort Country Club, one of the most exclusive private racetracks in the world. They're in the middle of a massive expansion, adding over 550 acres to create one of the longest road courses on the planet. And they're not stopping there. The surrounding 22 acres along Highway 160 just got approved for a retail, hotel, and casino complex, transforming this from a niche race destination into a full-blown resort lifestyle hub. And just down the road, you have the Pahrump Valley Winery, which adds an unexpected but powerful ingredient: culture and experience. So between rockets, race cars, and vineyards, you've got something rare. A luxury lifestyle frontier that's tech-driven, adrenaline-filled, and wine-glass smooth. So what if I told you that right now in Pahrump, the average price per acre is $37,000, and in some rural areas is between $8,000 and $12,000. Meanwhile, in Clark County, Las Vegas, that number can jump to $500,000 to $600,000 per acre. So when you're talking about securing 30 acres for the spaceport or a mixed-use complex, you're not just buying dirt. You're buying location, infrastructure, and future upside. This whole area is moving from rural edge to innovation district. As infrastructure comes online, aerospace, hospitality, and entertainment expect new residential and commercial growth to follow fast. Early investors and developers are already focusing on mixed-use projects and short-term rental opportunities. And just because this area still offers low land costs, the potential 6 to 9% annual appreciation over the next few years is not wishful thinking. It's a realistic, early-stage market correction as demand catches up to development. If you zoom out, this is exactly how Summerlin and Henderson used to look before they exploded. It starts with infrastructure, then comes industry, then community. That's why Las Vegas-Pahrump right now is at the tipping point between overlooked and overbooked. Now, most agents won't give you this information because they're interested on the easy sale in Summerlin or Green Valley. Here on the Zarconi Report, we give you the facts, no fluff, so that you have the information that will help you make the decision that is right for you. If you want to know more about investing in Las Vegas, watch my previous episode about where to invest in Las Vegas. You could get a lot of insight from it. Now let's swing back into the valley, and we're talking about Durango Drive and the Durango Corridor. Now the Durango Corridor connects the 215 Beltway all the way to Blue Diamond Parkway, which brings all the way up to Pahrump. This area has quietly turned in from suburban roads to a real urban spine. If you want a cocktail of retail, offices, dining and entertainment and housing, this is it. At the center of all sits Durango Station. Now Durango Station is the boldest station casinos project yet. It's not just gaming. They created a lifestyle hub with restaurants, rooftop bars, and a design that competes with anything in Summerlin. Right next door you have the Uncommons. It's a $400 million mixed-use development that brings in tech firms like DraftKings, high-end offices, apartments, and dining. Across the street, The Bend, where local chefs and retailers are setting up shop. Together, they're forming the new downtown of the Southwest. Median home prices in this corridor, zip codes 89148 and 89113, hover around $580,000, up 7.5% year over year in appreciation. Inventory stays tight because people want that balance, close to the strip, but with a Summerlin lifestyle. Would you live in a resort corridor like this? You know what's really wild? Every time I look north towards those mountains, I see the future of Las Vegas literally taking shape. And every one of these projects, these road expansions, and these new communities means new jobs, new families, and new opportunities to build a life here. That's what keeps this city alive. If you like seeing where Vegas is really expanding, hit the like button. It helps us reach more people that love this city as much as we do. Sky Canyon is one of those communities that makes you stop and think, wait, this is still Las Vegas? You've got tree-lined streets, mountain air, and a master plan that feels more like Colorado than Clark County. But make no mistakes, this is Vegas growth at its sharpest. It was developed by Olympia companies back in 2014, and so far it's 60 to 70% built out. When fully completed, it will have 5,000 homes. Home prices here range from $400,000 to $900,000. HOAs run from 50 to 150, depending on the village, and appreciation has grown year over year by about 6 to 8%, thanks to new amenities and high relocation demand. It attracts professionals, outdoor lovers, and families looking for suburban calm. If Summerlin is the polished veteran, Sky Canyon is the new fresh athlete, leaner and with mountain air mindset. You can hit the trails in the morning and be downtown in 25 minutes. Drop a comment if you could see yourself living up here. I want to know what kind of vibe this place gives you. The Sky Canyon is the footsteps to nature. Lee Canyon and Mount Charleston are the actual escape. They are both located about 15 to 20 minute drive, all uphill. And that's where local Las Vegans, they come to recharge, relax, and remember that this is one of the most dramatic geographically areas in the country. The elevation up there reaches about 8,000 feet. And you could get short-term rentals for a weekend getaway and enjoy hiking. There's snow up there, there's a small ski resort. Locals, we like to brag. We say, you could go up there and ski, and 20 minutes later you'll be on the strip partying. The real estate up there is pretty interesting as well. You could get something from $400,000 all the way to $1.5 million. You find cabins, you find chalets, you get new builds, but there's limited inventory. That leads for high demand and high appreciation. We get a big boost from tourism up there as well, for the ski resort and the fantastic trail areas. Head past Sky Canyon and you can actually feel the Las Vegas frontier line moving. The dirt, the cranes, but it's not only construction, it's transformation. The Centennial Bowl was completed a few years ago, and basically it connects the 215 Beltway that goes around the entire valley, and the 11, which connects Henderson all the way up to Phoenix. driving right by Sky Canyon and Centennial, giving you a corridor that is easily reachable from one side to the other. And if you pass Sky Canyon and you keep on driving north for about 15-20 minutes, you will run into Creech Air Base, which is expanding, and you find defense tech contractors fueling new job base. It is forecasted that the economic driver will be logistics, tech, and defense industries. The development timeline between 2028 and 2030. Median home prices along the corridor go from $500,000 all the way up to $750,000, and appreciation is expected to grow about 15 to 20%. This area is where families and investors are betting on early. You got space, infrastructure, and job security from the military corridor, all ingredients for long-term growth. When you connect Sky Canyon, Mount Charleston, and the I-11 corridor, you're not just looking at development, you're looking at direction. The northwest edge of Vegas is where nature, innovation, and opportunity intersect. And for buyers and investors with vision, this is where the next chapter begins. Now let's head north to Tule Springs and the greater North Las Vegas area. I know what you're thinking. North Las Vegas? 10 years ago, that would have sounded like warehouses and dust. But today, it's one of the fastest growing corridors in the entire valley. And honestly, one of the most misunderstood. But remember, we talk about growth in this channel, not stereotypes. One thing to keep in mind is that North Las Vegas is no longer the industrial backyard of Las Vegas. It's evolving to something that I call the northern engine of growth. We're talking massive master plan communities, thousands of new homes, and a level of job creation that's rewriting the city map. The biggest force behind this growth? The Apex Industrial Park.
It's a vast manufacturing hub that could bring between 45 and 70,000 new jobs over the next 10 to 20 years, according to the city of North Las Vegas.
It's about 18,000 acres, and it's fast becoming Nevada's industrial and advanced manufacturing hub. You got Kroger's automated new distribution center, Amazon's logistics network, and now several high-tech and EV suppliers moving in. This isn't just industrial. This is innovation infrastructure. When it's fully built, Apex is supposed to create 20,000 direct jobs. And jobs mean stability and high housing demand. That's why investors are keeping their eyes locked on Tule Springs. Now, right next door, you have the Villages at Tule Springs. It's a 2,000-acre master plan community with builders like D.R. Horton, Lennar, and Richard America, all active. Around 60% of it is already built out, and with about 8,600 homes planned for the full build-out. The lifestyle here? Parks, trails, great schools, and they're planning a new town center. And here's the part that most people miss. It's strategically surrounded by 3 job anchors: Apex Industrial Park, Nellis Air Force Base, and the new VA Medical Center. That's a live-work trifecta. So what does this mean for buyers and investors? Median home prices in Tule Springs right now are still around $400,000, with new builds typically running higher depending on the upgrades. But the key here isn't just price, it's trajectory. As the Apex Corridor matures through 2030, and the village is fully built out in 2030, the appreciation curve for homes could outpace most of the valley. So if you're thinking long-term, 3 to 7 years, this is an area that rewards patience. Now, although North Las Vegas is its own city, it functions as a large suburb for Las Vegas. And right now, it's where the region's industrial, logistics, and high-tech expansion is happening. So if you're sleeping on this area, don't. North Las Vegas isn't just catching up. It's redefining what affordable growth looks like in Southern Nevada. If you want a breakdown of which communities in North Las Vegas are best positioned for appreciation, or you're an investor looking for entry-level points before the new construction wave, reach out. I'll walk you through the numbers and the neighborhoods. All right, so we talked about the corridor Las Vegas, Pahrump. We talked about the Durango Corridor that connects the Beltway to the 215. We talked about the corridor of Northwest Las Vegas with Sky Canyon. Then we moved into North Las Vegas with Tule Springs and the surrounding area. Now, what if I told you that there's a stretch of land that barely anybody talks about, and yet it's quietly sitting at the center of some of the most forward-looking development conversation today? Let's head south to Sloan. Sloan sits right on the I-15 corridor, right before the M Resort in Southern Highlands. And for now, it's more open desert than it is skyline. But like I mentioned earlier on the Pahrump Las Vegas corridor, it's all part of the same big picture, with aerospace, logistics, mixed-use development. It's all connected, just different pieces of the same big plan. Right now, Sloan is seeing the early stages of that transformation. You got Speed Vegas, where adrenaline meets tourism, far from the Strip, and ongoing infrastructure improvements stretching south of the Beltway. There's talk about expanding light industrial and logistics zoning, and the land activity is starting to mirror what we saw 15 years ago along the southern edge of Henderson. Quiet at first, but then suddenly everyone is calling their broker. Developers are already positioning themselves for what's next. Parcels are being assembled to commercial flex, warehouses, and mixed-use spaces. And while it's still early, the proximity to the Strip, I-15 logistics access, and that Pahrump Las Vegas connection that I told you about earlier creates a corridor that's really hard to ignore. This is where the next Southern Highlands story might be told, but this time it will be with a modern, industry-first foundation. What makes Sloan interesting is not just the potential for jobs and logistics, it's the lifestyle that it's connected to. You're just a few minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip, an hour away from Pahrump with the wineries and the space station and all the open air, and then you have Henderson and all this beltway that brings you all the way to Lake Las Vegas. Not to mention that if you make a big U-turn, Sloan is the closest spot of Las Vegas that connects you to California. There's talk about that train rail that they're thinking about constructing from California to Las Vegas.
Remains closed on the southbound side while work is completed.
The journey to get everyone on board to build a train from southern Nevada to southern California has taken decades. But tonight, Brightline West tells Fox 5, while there's no official date for construction, they are, quote, getting close.
Fox 5's Kim Passow joins us live with the latest developments now.
Yeah, so this is what stretches of the I-15 will look like in the future. Barriers up in the center, separating the middle of the interstate from the north and southbound lanes, making way for the train tracks.
Now imagine a hub there right at the beginning of the city that connects you with all parts of the city, north, south, east, and west. Now I'm really looking into the future. And it's still one of those areas where growth and calm still exist, at least for now. As of late 2025, land per acre goes for about 180 to 250, depending on access to utilities. That's still entry level compared to the Metro Core. But if the southern expansion and infrastructure plans keep pace, we could see those numbers double by the early 2030s. This is not about creating headlines. It's about reading the horizon before everyone else does. So what's my take on Sloan? It's not the loudest on the market, but it might be one of the smartest. It's the southern frontier of Las Vegas, a place where desert still whispers opportunity, and where patient investors could still write the story of Las Vegas' expansion. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I want to get ahead of the curve, let's talk strategic, land play or new homes that fit your goals. And if you missed the earlier portion of the Las Vegas Pahrump Corridor, go back and check it out. It ties directly in what we're seeing right here. If you want to know more about investing in Las Vegas, watch my previous episode about where to invest in Las Vegas. You could get a lot of insight from it. So we talked about the Las Vegas Pahrump Corridor and how the space station and the mixed-use developments are reshaping the entire area up there. After that, we talked about the Durango Corridor and how that expansion is affecting the whole Southwest. Then we moved up north to Sky Canyon, and we talked about all the residential and the stretch that goes all the way to the Air Force. And then we moved to North Las Vegas, where I told you how the real development is shaping the entire area up there. And after that, we moved all the way down south to Sloan, and I wrapped it together to see how Pahrump and this part of Las Vegas is all connected together. Each one of these areas tells a different story, but they have one thing in common, and to show you how Las Vegas is growing and expanding. It's growing smarter, faster, and with a vision that rewards timing and strategy. So remember, real estate is not only about buying or selling a home. It's about timing, strategy, and having someone on your side that knows how to put the pieces together. I'm Giacomo Zarconi, and I'll see you next week, right here on the Zarconi Report.